So welcome to Mr. Wizard's Workshop, episode 56. The topic this week is persistence, which is actually the 8th step towards riches as laid out by Napoleon Hill. So persistence is that quality that allows you to continue doing or attempting to do something even though it's difficult, even in the face of opposition. Napoleon Hill, in his influential book, Think and Grow Rich, emphasize the critical or crucial role that persistence plays in achieving success and acquiring wealth. He actually dedicated a whole chapter to the subject. So I've culled out some of what I think are the key insights from the book related to this. Direct quotes from Napoleon. So without persistence, you will be defeated even before you start. With persistence, you will win. He points out correctly it's a state of mind, and therefore it can be cultivated. And I think he correctly says that a lot of people, maybe the majority of people, give up or throw in too early, and a little bit of opposition and their will crumbles. A few carry on despite the opposition until they actually attain their goals. The last one is every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed potential of equal or greater benefit. So he had 10 different ways to cultivate persistence. I won't just read them off all word for word, but I'll try to hit the gist of it. So one was having definiteness of purpose, which is define your goals. Because if you don't really know where you're going, then it's hard to be motivated and it's hard to be persistent in taking the steps you need to reach your goals. Having a strong desire is good. Then having the self-confidence to believe in your abilities and the likelihood of achieving your goals. If you don't think it's possible for you to succeed, then you're not going to take the step. You're certainly not going to be persistent. So there's an important mindset thing, which is understanding failure is not or doesn't have to be permanent. You can think of it and treat it as a temporary setback. It's a learning experience or a stepping stone towards success. I think many coaches and personal development gurus make that point. Number 5, he points out that mastermind, what he calls in his book Mastermind Alliance, is also a good way to help you cultivate persistence because if you're able to share your goals with other people who are like-minded, then they can help provide support, advice, and encouragement. Number 6 is have a certain amount of faith in your abilities and the universe's ability to support you in achieving your goals. It's good to cultivate a belief that your efforts will be rewarded in the medium term, at least, and that solutions will present themselves to you along the way. Number 7, and I've discussed this in a previous episode and in several shorts, utilize positive affirmations and self-talk to reinforce your persistence. Number 8, take proactive and consistent actions towards your goals. Another way to say that's break it up into steps. Every day be moving towards or taking actions. And of course, avoid procrastination, which I spend a lot of time talking about. Related to that is develop the habit of initiating tasks and projects without always needing to have some external motivation. Number 9 is develop the ability to accurately think about and understand that the world is not all negative, and it's faulty thinking if you let yourself succumb to negative thoughts, doubts, and fears. So another way to say that is focus on solutions rather than problems. And that's, I actually have one of my many affirmations on my vision board here is I focus on solutions rather than problems. And number 10, view adversity and challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Again, you learn from every quote failure, from setbacks, and if you understand that, then you can use them to strengthen your persistence and refine your approach. There's just a whole bunch of quotes about persistence out there from famous people I really like. Again, I'm not going to read them all off here. I'll pick out a couple that I really, really like, but as usual, the PowerPoint slide deck will be available. If you would like it, just post in the description of this video and give me an email address and I'll send it to you. So Winston Churchill, who I really admire, said, success is not final and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And of course, got to quote Vince Lombardi, since I live here in Wisconsin. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. And let's see, Confucius It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. And then, let me throw in this Japanese proverb: fall 7 times, stand up 8 times. So the action items for this week, there's actually 2 kind of related ones. One is resolve to practice perseverance consistently. That is, make a conscious decision to keep pushing forward, even when faced with difficulties or when progress seems slow. And then number 2 is embrace a growth mindset. That's versus a fixed mindset. That is, view challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and improvement. For many people that really crumble in the face of an initial challenge and are not persistent, it's because they have a mostly fixed mindset. So I'm recommending that you embrace the belief that with effort and persistence, you can continually develop and enhance your skills. That is, intelligence, abilities, and talents are learnable and capable of improvement through effort versus the fixed mindset, which says they aren't. Question for you, are you an entrepreneur who's highly motivated to improve your productivity, but you still struggle with procrastination and regularly find yourself neglecting your highest priority tasks? So schedule a free 30-minute quick start to time blocking working session call with me. I show you how to beat procrastination and get your shit done. And I'll post the link to my scheduling app in the description of this week's video. So I am a master of time blocking, and I can help you master it also. But I have a very limited number of time blocks available in my calendar because I block out my highest priority stuff first. So grab a slot while you can. Persistence. Do you feel like you're pretty good at sticking with things that you want to get accomplished?
It depends on
the thing,
the activity. So, for example, I'm really good with physical, like for example, when 100 people run, right? Then
right,
there comes a point where it gets exhausting, and everyone has a different threshold. So when it comes to physical activities, I'm very, very extremely persistent, which is what has always helped me in sports and things like that. But when it comes to mental persistence, I've not been very good in my younger years. So which sounds, and I've been very conflicted in this because I always assumed that if you have, because right, pushing through the pain of running or physical exercise, it's also mental at the end of the day. You just tell yourself, no, I'm gonna do one more round, I'm gonna push more. But it is very different from, for example, telling yourself to record one more video or to write one more blog post or to
right.
So that's where I stand. That's where I've been. But
well, let me just ask. I mean, I tried to gather up the primary recommendations that Napoleon Hill had shared about how to cultivate persistence. Did any of those resonate with you? For example, do you find that being in a mastermind helps you to a certain extent with persistence for those non-exercise type things?
Yeah, for me, 100%. Like when I I need to surround myself with the right people, and then I don't stop. I don't stop. Doesn't matter what it is. But the real challenge is finding the right people. Like there's certain things that we don't really have control over growing up, and so we do our best, right? And then things like families and other obligations, and we just that's where I'm at now. I feel like I'm finally becoming an adult in the sense that I can let go some of these childhood burdens that would sway me or keep me around people that that was the opposite, that actually made me stop as opposed to keep going. People who achieve stuff, whatever it is, like people who do great things in many areas of life, not just like business, money, and so on, but either they do it instinctively or they do it consciously. They also protect themselves. So if you come with a negative energy and bunch of excuses and everything, you're not going to get into that circle.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think it's as easy as just telling yourself, okay, now I'm going to find 5 awesome people and hang out with them, because who says they want to hang out with you, right? So it's the way I see it is it's a progress where you slowly morph into that until you also get until you get on the same wavelength, I would say.
Well, and the thing that you have more immediate direct control is not hanging out with losers, right? Or in some cases, like you can't pick your family, per se. But, if you have family members who are really negative or energy vampires or otherwise are bringing you down, there's nothing that says you have to spend much time with them. You can always control that, right? Same with your friends that are.
I mean, you said it right in the opening phrase, right? If the people around you are not doing the things you want to do, kind of, right? So it doesn't have to be 100% the same, but
Right.
a certain kind of overlap, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
if there's infinite examples to this.
Yep.
But that's what I did. I just I stopped hanging out with people who were making me insecure for the things that I wanted to achieve, right?
Yep.
That was a big thing for me. So I just cut them out as well as I could. But the problem then is that you end up alone. So I've spent quite long periods just alone, building my dreams, working on my dreams. And what I've found out is that doesn't work either. Like you need an environment that
right.
Yeah, because if you don't have it, then it's so difficult to stay persistent. I'm sure there's individuals out there who did it. Like there's always exceptions, but I think in general, if you're like
right.
A normal human being with all the advantages and disadvantages, then you're not going to stick with something long enough if you do it all alone.
Agree. Or it's massively helpful to have some group of people, that whether it's a mastermind or even something somewhat more informal, but that helps you, kind of like we talked about, I think it was last, a running buddy, some kind of accountability group that brings a positive energy and support to what you're trying to do. It makes it so much easier if you've got something like that.
Yeah, that was a very new learning experience for me, where I learned that if you have enough money, you can just buy your way into you can buy your way into the kind of group you want to be in. It's really that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
You find the mastermind, and you pay the fee, you go in, and you're in there right away. Like, sure, at the beginning you may not fit in or feel like you don't fit in, or you're not on the same wavelength, but you're in. You're now talking to these people, you surround yourself with them, and money solves that problem. And if you work on yourself, then you're going to build friendships out of these memberships, masterminds, groups, whatever.
Yep.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, Stephen, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Awesome workshop as always.
You too. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching this video recording from my live weekly workshop. Every Sunday, I feature instantly actionable steps you can take to overcome procrastination, increase your productivity, and get your shit done. Followed up by Q&A and discussion with the live participants. I really hope you found this video useful and you feel like watching it was time well spent. Please post any questions or comments you have. I always answer posts. I'd appreciate it very much if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone that would enjoy and benefit from this particular episode, please send them the link. Stay productive, my friends.